Let's talk about the Turbosound iP500. We've had this speaker in our inventory for about 6 months now, and we've used it quite a bit. Is it the only speaker you'll ever need? No. It's a small, I call it an auxiliary speaker. It's the extra speaker that is nice to have, but you don't necessarily need it. But I'm happy we have it. I don't plan on selling it anytime soon. First thoughts when we got it was, number one, why is there a hole in the top of the cover? Really worried me about dust and debris getting down in there because that's where the connectors are. But they put a hole there because that's where the handle is to pick it up from, and the handle's good and solid. Your fingers can get in there pretty deep. I do wish that they would have put a little flap that you could Velcro down over it. When this sits in the shop, we open up the garage doors in the summer, if it's a windy day, you know, there gets to be some dust in the air. And 2 years down the road, will that be an issue? Maybe we can just shoot the air compressor in there and blow dust out if it gets in there. So far it hasn't been an issue. I hope it doesn't. But the covers that you get with the iP500 are free. Every other model in the iNSPIRE line, you have to buy the sub cover separate and the top cover separate. Why they don't just make it a package deal, I don't know. I'm not quite sure why you just want to buy a cover for the sub or just a cover for the tops, but you know, getting them free, it saves you like 70 bucks, so you can't complain too much. My other gripe was just the lack of an aux cord, and it's a cheaper speaker, so a lot of cheaper ones don't have aux cords, but it does have two XLR 1/4-inch combo jacks. So if I'm doing a small event where I just need to plug a laptop in, I have a headphone to XLR that I plug into one, plug a microphone into the other, and you know, adjust my volumes accordingly. It does have Bluetooth, so you could just use Bluetooth from your laptop. But when you're getting paid for an event, I don't use Bluetooth because, I mean, I can't be the only one whose Bluetooth headphones cut out with their phone in their pocket. I just don't trust Bluetooth very much. You know, if I brought this to a barbecue in the park, or you know, just a Christmas party, or just brought it somewhere just to listen to music, sure, I would use Bluetooth. I wouldn't worry about a cord. Plug it in, Bluetooth my phone to it, and throw on my Spotify playlist. But anything where somebody's handed me a check, no Bluetooth, because I don't want to cut out. I hardwire everything. It's got the new fancy LCD screen with a lot of sub-menus in there, a lot of different settings. It's nice to have the options that are available. I do find these kinds of interfaces a little cumbersome. It is a nice technological advancement from just having a couple knobs and a couple of switches. There's a lot more you can do. They even make an app that you can control through Bluetooth. Control the speaker, control the EQ and stuff. For the most part, I run the thing flat. I don't do too much EQing to it. It sounds pretty good straight out of the box. When we bought this, I was really trying hard to decide between the JBL Eon 1 and this speaker. The Eon 1's got a 10-inch sub in it, so you know, that was kind of a plus, more bass, and it's also got a, you know, full-blown mixer in the back, which I like having the knobs available, especially if I'm, you know, need to tweak something really fast, adjust the volume really fast on one of the inputs here. I think the input adjustment is 2 menu layers deep, and it takes time. It's not just grabbing a knob and adjusting it. But at the end of the day, price to performance, the Turbosound wins out. You know, this thing's it's less than 500 bucks. Free shipping if you order it online at most places. Definitely would be considered a buy in my book, and that's why we bought it. I don't regret buying this over the JBL. JBL would have been nice, but you know, it's almost twice the price. So this one wins out. And if I needed to buy 3 more speakers like this, I would go with this model. I wouldn't even try another brand. Things that we use it for, we use it weekly for a trivia show. I brought this out just a couple of weeks ago to a groundbreaking ceremony. We used the Denon Lectern Active, and then one of these. That's all I brought out, and to cover 100 people outdoors, and it worked very well. When I powered it on, turned the volume up, and walked up to the mic and said check, check, the people that were in charge of the event looked at me with their eyes wide open and was like, that sound is coming out of that? So I mean, it does get loud. It's really good for speech. So if you're doing a ceremony, if you're doing a groundbreaking, any type of sound reinforcement, a graduation ceremony, anything where you need to cover, I mean, heck, a couple hundred people, a pair of these, I would say would do just fine. I don't think you'd have any problems in any high school auditorium with two of these. It's definitely a good speaker. It's just all about using, you know, the right tool for the job. You know, if you're going out and DJing a wedding dance, two of these, you maybe could do a wedding dance with a small one with 50 to 75 people where maybe you're not playing a whole lot of top 40, or it's more of a kind of a classic rock, cool in the gang kind of wedding dance. But I think you'd really be pushing it. I definitely would not do that. I think you'd get people a little sad about the sound quality with just two of these at a wedding dance. I have used one of these at a bar dance though, but it wasn't I say bar dance, a bar event. It wasn't really a dance. I was filling in for one of my buddies. He does a weekly music video all request show, and it's kind of lower volume levels, just where people are kind of watching the videos, chit-chatting. It's not really a dance environment. I did put this up against one of the brick walls because it's an older bar with brick walls, just to try to get the wall coupling off for the bass as well, just to get a little bit extra out of this 8-inch. And it did get noticeably more bassy when I did that. But the thing about the bass out of this, since you have an 8-inch sub in here, is you just don't get that low bass. It's more of like a mid bass. I would say this probably, you know, without measuring anything, probably hits around 90 hertz. I know if I look at the specs, you know, it says frequency response 65 hertz to 14 kilohertz plus or minus 3 dB. And that probably is where it starts to trail off, but really where it hits has got to be 90 hertz-ish, because it definitely, you know, they say a kick drum hits at about 60. This thing's not going to be thumping any kick drums. But it works good, and I definitely would recommend it. 118 dB is the output, so, you know, you're going to get low volume to medium volume situations. It's not going to get crazy loud, and if you do push it, it's going to sound like you're pushing it. So, you know, if you need a bigger speaker, bring a bigger speaker. But this is the perfect extra speaker to have in your inventory. If you've already got your main sound system that you go out with, and you have these random things where you don't want to lug out your big system because it just doesn't need it. This thing's awesome. You just throw it in your back seat and you're good to go. I did last week I DJ'd a bubble party for some preschool, kindergarten, first grade age kids, and it was just a little weekday 1-hour thing. Just came in with my laptop, plugged it into the back, had a mic, and played Kids Bop for an hour. Would I have rather had the Turbosound iP500? I think I would have, just because there probably was 100 kids there, and they're running around the gym. The music wasn't the main thing, you know, they're running around playing games, you know, tossing balls around, so it was more of a background music situation. I think the iP500 maybe would have filled out the low end a little better in the gym, but for what I was doing and what they were paying, you know, this is what they got. I wasn't going to lug in my full DJ setup for a quick 1-hour gig, you know, where I'm making $200 for doing it. But this thing worked good. I got zero complaints on it. It filled up the room nicely. You know, just obviously didn't have the bass that a DJ would come to expect from a sound system. So as I said, I would definitely recommend getting this. It's a good extra speaker to have in your inventory for the odd things that you don't want your main sound system, you don't want to lug out your main sound system for. The cases are nice, you know, except the sub case doesn't cover up the ports. But the top case is nice. I keep the power cord in there. It's got two slots with a divider in there so they don't rub around and get scratched up. About $4.99 is what this retails for. We sell them on our website, pirateradio.productions. I'll have a link down below. If you have any questions, you know, throw it down in the comments section. I'll answer any questions you might have. This isn't really supposed to be a close-up picture look at this type of review. This is just a review of us using it, what we use it for, and you know, whether or not we recommend it. I buy a lot of stuff that I wind up regretting, and we sell it and I buy different stuff. And this is one of the things that, you know, I'm happy with. We only have one of these in inventory right now. I would like to get a second one in our rental inventory. It'd be nice to have a matched pair. One of the things we're trying to get into more is the corporate audio end of things. That's why we bought the Denon Lectern Active, and it's a really nice lectern to have. You know, when you look at the other lecterns out there that have speakers built in, you know, they're like $2,000. I mean, they're really expensive, and the Denon one is half the price. I'll do a review on that eventually. But, you know, the Denon Lectern Active, two of these, one on each side, and, you know, I think you'd be good for almost any speaking engagement out there. When this thing's put together, sitting on the floor, it's about 6.5 feet tall, so it gets sound up above everybody's heads, especially if it's a seating engagement where people are sitting down in chairs. And if people are standing too, it's not that bad. You know, not too many people are 6.5 feet tall, so it still gets the sound primarily over everybody's head. But yeah, definitely recommend this. Check out our website, pirateradio.productions. We have it for sale on there, free shipping. If you're in the Fargo area and you want to rent it, we do rent them out as well. And until next time.